Out our shirt on Teespring.
In the annals of American politics, few blueprints for governance have stirred as much controversy as Project 2025. Unveiled in April 2023 by the Heritage Foundation, a prominent conservative think tank, this ambitious project outlined a sweeping vision for transforming the U.S. federal government. Project 2025, conceived with the anticipation of a Republican victory in the 2024 presidential election, aimed to fundamentally reshape the administrative state, advocating for a significant transfer of power to the executive branch. The project's architects argued that this transformation was essential to dismantle what they perceived as an entrenched, unresponsive, and excessively liberal bureaucracy. Their goal was clear: to install a government that would steadfastly advance a conservative agenda across all facets of American life. At the heart of Project 2025 lay a series of bold policy proposals designed to revolutionize the role of the federal government. The project called for a dramatic reduction in the size and scope of federal agencies, targeting departments such as education, environmental protection, and healthcare for substantial downsizing or outright elimination. In their place, Project 2025 envisioned a leaner, more centralized government, with power concentrated in the hands of the president and a select group of loyal appointees. This concentration of executive authority, proponents argued, was necessary to overcome bureaucratic inertia and swiftly implement the conservative policy priorities outlined in the project. These priorities included significant tax cuts, deregulation of industries, restrictions on abortion access, and a more hardline approach to immigration enforcement. Advocates for Project 2025 championed its emphasis on streamlining government as a much-needed corrective to what they perceived as decades of bureaucratic bloat and overreach. They believed that the inefficiencies and redundancies within the federal system had reached a critical point, necessitating bold reforms to restore functionality and trust. They argued that the federal government had become too large, too unwieldy, and too detached from the needs of everyday Americans. The daily frustrations of citizens dealing with slow and unresponsive government services were seen as clear indicators of a system in dire need of overhaul. Project 2025, they contended, would usher in an era of greater efficiency and accountability, empowering the president to act decisively and swiftly to advance the interests of the American people. This initiative was envisioned as a way to cut through red tape and deliver results more effectively. By reducing the size and influence of federal agencies, proponents believed that government would become more responsive to the needs of citizens, fostering an environment of economic growth and individual liberty. They saw a leaner government as a catalyst for innovation and prosperity. Their vision resonated with a segment of the electorate disillusioned with what they saw as a sprawling and unresponsive federal bureaucracy. These voters were eager for change, hoping that Project 2025 would bring about a more efficient and effective government that truly served the people. One of the most controversial aspects of Project 2025 was its call to replace career civil servants with political appointees chosen for their loyalty to the president and their alignment with the project's conservative ideology. This proposal sent shockwaves through the federal workforce, raising concerns about the politicization of government agencies and the erosion of meritocratic principles that had long guided civil service hiring and promotion. Critics argued that prioritizing political loyalty over experience and expertise would undermine the effectiveness of government, potentially leading to cronyism, corruption, and a decline in the quality of public service. They warned that Project 2025's vision of a politically appointed bureaucracy would erode public trust in government institutions and compromise the ability of agencies to fulfill their missions objectively and impartially. Section 5, Healthcare, Immigration, and the Environment at a Crossroads. Project 2025's far-reaching policy prescriptions extended to some of the most contentious issues facing American society, including healthcare, immigration, and environmental regulation. In healthcare, the project called for a dismantling of the Affordable Care Act, replacing it with a market-based system that emphasized individual choice and responsibility. On immigration, Project 2025 advocated for stricter border security measures, increased interior enforcement, and a reduction in legal immigration levels. The project's environmental policies centered on rolling back regulations, promoting fossil fuel development, and questioning the scientific consensus on climate change. These proposals drew sharp criticism from environmental groups, healthcare advocates, and immigration rights organizations, who argued that they would harm vulnerable populations, exacerbate existing inequalities, and jeopardize the environment. Section 6. Echoes of 2025, Trump's second term. The echoes of Project 2025 reverberated throughout Donald Trump's second term as president, following his re-election in 2024. This period marked a significant shift in the political landscape of the United States. Upon assuming office, Trump swiftly moved to implement many of the project's key recommendations, issuing a flurry of executive orders that targeted federal agencies, reversed Obama-era regulations, and reshaped the federal judiciary. His administration was characterized by a relentless drive to consolidate executive power. Trump's appointments to key cabinet positions and judicial vacancies further aligned his administration with the ideological vision outlined in Project 2025. These appointments were pivotal in steering the country towards a more conservative trajectory. The president's actions signaled a clear embrace of the project's core tenets, particularly its emphasis on executive power, deregulation, and the advancement of conservative social and economic policies. This approach was met with both fervent support and staunch opposition. The implementation of Project 2025's vision during Trump's second term intensified the national debate over the project's merits and its implications for the future of American democracy. The country found itself deeply divided, with passionate arguments on both sides of the political spectrum. Section 7. A Nation Divided, the debate over Project 2025. The unveiling of Project 2025 ignited a fierce national debate, dividing Americans along ideological lines and sparking protests, legal challenges, and impassioned arguments about the role of government and the future of American democracy. The project, which aims to overhaul the federal bureaucracy, has become a lightning rod for controversy, with both sides passionately defending their positions. Supporters hailed the project as a long overdue corrective to what they viewed as a bloated, inefficient, and ideologically driven bureaucracy. They believe that the current system stifles innovation and progress, and that Project 2025 is the key to unlocking America's potential. They argued that Project 2025 would restore accountability to government, empower the president to fulfill the will of the people, and unleash economic growth by reducing the regulatory burden on businesses. Proponents see it as a necessary step to streamline government operations and make them more responsive to the needs of citizens. Critics, however, denounced the project as a dangerous assault on democratic norms, warning that its implementation would undermine the rule of law, erode civil liberties, and concentrate unchecked power in the hands of the executive branch. They fear that such a concentration of power could lead to authoritarianism. They argued that Project 2025 represented a radical departure from American traditions of limited government and threatened to transform the United States into an illiberal democracy. Critics worry that the project could dismantle the checks and balances that are fundamental to the American political system, leading to a significant shift in how the country is governed. Section 8. Project 2025 in the international arena. The reverberations of Project 2025 extended beyond U.S. borders, eliciting reactions of concern and condemnation from international allies and organizations. Human rights groups expressed alarm over the project's implications for civil liberties, particularly its potential to erode protections for minorities, immigrants, and LGBTQ+ individuals. Environmental organizations criticized the project's dismissive stance on climate change, warning that its implementation would have dire consequences for the global environment. Foreign policy experts raised concerns about the project's potential to damage America's global standing and undermine its credibility as a champion of democracy and human rights. The international community's response to Project 2025 underscored the global significance of American domestic politics and the potential for U.S. policy shifts to have far-reaching international implications. Section 9. Looking ahead. Uncertain futures. As the full implications of Project 2025 continue to unfold, its legacy remains a subject of intense debate and speculation. The project's impact on American governance, civil society, and the relationship between the federal government and its citizens will likely resonate for decades to come. Whether Project 2025 ultimately represents a revolution or regression in American political thought remains an open question. What is certain is that the project has left an indelible mark on the American political landscape, forcing a national reckoning with fundamental questions about the role of government, the balance of power, and the very nature of American democracy in the 21st century.